Hey all, I'm Suchitra and I'm back with another book review and this is on one of my favorite topics, manifestation. So when people hear about manifestation, they think it's all very delusional and something crazy. But to be honest, manifestation is not some trending thing that caught my eye. People were talking about it for a very long time. And I remember I first read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and The Power of Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. I slowly realized that manifestation is all that they were ultimately talking about, but it was just packaged in a different way. Given the current situation of our lives, we are bombarded with a lot of negative things which are also known as rage baits on social media that get a lot of attention and engagement. It's increasingly becoming difficult to just be optimistic and grateful for whatever life has to offer us, and trust me, it's an ongoing thing with me as well. Sometimes I'm really grateful for the life I've been given, and then it doesn't take much time for me to start comparing myself with others and lose my peace of mind. And social media is only becoming, another medium where we are amplifying our lack and our scarcity mindset. So, from time to time, I like to remind myself that there are so many things and people in my life that I'm grateful for, and I do tend to pick books that bring practical positivity in my life. So, being positive also takes practice, and trust me, it usually doesn't take much time for me to spiral down into a pit that doesn't serve absolutely anything for me. So, when I picked up the book Manifest by Roxie Nafousi, I knew what's going to come because of my past reading experience in the manifestation space. Also, I'm not a big fan of the book called The Secret, which became quite popular because it doesn't lay out properly as to how manifestation actually works. And I know that's quite a popular book, but anything that doesn't give you details as to how to get started and stick with the process is nothing but a time waster, in my opinion. Now, in the book Manifestation, the author Roxy has listed 7 steps as to how to get started with manifestation, and all these chapters, the steps that she talked about, they're each individual chapters and they follow a proper flow. The thing I really liked about this book is that there's a clear layout and explanation. It doesn't just say that, okay, you want something, think about it and chant about it every day and you'll get what you desire. No, that's not manifestation, and that's not how one should approach it. That's mere wishful thinking, and that'll be a disaster. I am no manifestation expert, but I did give it a try and worked on myself to realize that, hey, this actually works. But it requires you to work on yourself first and face all the madness within you that you have been avoiding. So, let me talk a bit about how I got to understand it and how I tried to manifest certain things and people in my life. So early on in my life, I was told that I can only be so much and only do so much, and I shouldn't waste money on myself, etc., etc. All these little things that pile up. So there were many things said, and the little me absorbed all that. But later in life, I struggled to just do simple things. So my main struggle has always been with being consistent with anything in my life. And remember in the book Average Sucks that I reviewed, it said that when you're being consistent with something and you're actually learning and becoming competent, somehow you abandon it because it is also changing your identity, and your past self will pull you back into the loop where you know where you were this person who used to abandon things, and then you feel bad and the cycle continues. Well, that's exactly what was happening with me all these years. So take it from me, no matter how many self-help books you read, you'll be stuck repeating the same cycle forever because internally you haven't accepted that you deserve all these beautiful things that life can offer when you step up and work on healing yourself. Because I'm somebody who has read quite a bit of self help books, and they really work wonders for short term. But in long term, you really need to kick your ass and work on yourself. So, all these things are interconnected and they take years to understand your pattern. And for example, I've had some really deep limiting beliefs that even come up every now and then. So the negative self talk, once it begins, just doesn't go away, you know. So a lot of manifestation is all about believing what you are worthy of and deserve. So this book takes you step by step in that process, and it's been a really long time since I read a book which laid the steps properly for manifestation. And the language is so simple, it's easy for anyone to follow, and there are many things you'll be reading and rereading. Especially what caught my interest was the second step, the step of removing doubt and fear. Described in this book is an ongoing process in our lives, and we need to constantly self reflect on this. And there's a special section just for cultivating and practicing self love, which is not at all to be missed. And I just want to thank the author for writing such a lovely book for people who have no clue as to how to get started on manifestation and, get scammed by these scammers in the market, internet, wherever, whichever place you find them. I hope people can make use of the information provided in this book and follow it to see if manifestation is really true or not. For example, the author has laid out 7 steps. Let me read out the steps. So each of these steps is a chapter in itself, and she dives deeper into all these steps, guiding you guys along as well. So the first step is to be clear in your vision. Second step is to remove fear and doubt. Third step is to align your behavior. Fourth is to overcome tests from the universe. Step 5 is to embrace gratitude without any caveats. And step 6 is to turn envy into inspiration. And finally, the last step is to trust in the universe. So, all of these steps she has laid out beautifully, and she also talks about how she was also trapped in that cycle of not feeling worthy of everything that was happening in her life. Be it, I mean, especially she was not feeling um, worthy of anything better. So she was constantly abusing her body, abusing herself, and it took a lot of time for her to come out of it. And all of this happened when she actually understood what manifestation is all about, worked on herself first, and then she saw improvement in her life, and now she's actually a manifestation coach. So her journey itself is like quite inspiring. She's not talking about something that has happened to someone else, but she is talking about how she has implemented it in her life and what are the changes that she saw. and how she aligned herself, um, you know, to take the actions and, overcome the tests from the universe. So each of these chapters is like a gem. And she has also written a follow up book, which is also titled Manifest, but the description says Dive Deeper. So that's a follow up book for the Seven Steps book that I've just read. And in future, I'm definitely going to pick that Dive Deeper book on manifestation by Roxie. And I just hope, I hope you all pick this one as well. I know self development, self help, it's like, $1 billion industry or whatever. But trust me, like if someone is feeling low and they're trying to be a better version of themselves, there's nothing wrong in reading self help. I mean, I do it from time to time to just understand myself better. As long as you're not like abusing your body, you're not harming yourself, you're not harming anybody around you, I think self help is a good option. Like, you're just letting words bring positivity to you, and just you're just reflecting on your life, and you're trying to understand your pattern. So I know people do talk talk negatively that okay, now self-help industry is quite saturated and this and that. But I say that, if anything is just positive and it's calling to you, just pick it up and read it. And this book would really help if you're really interested in manifestation. And I think I just want to end this episode with one thing that I want you all to remember, and that you'll find in this book as well. It says, we manifest what we believe we are worthy of. So work on yourself and align your tasks, behavior, actions, whatever it is. Be consistent and, just show up for yourself. Come on, kid. This is your dream. Until next time, take care.